And a pleasant good evening to everybody tuning in to tonight's broadcast here live from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey. It is night number 3 of the 2025 Jersey Pro League playoffs here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Hi, hello, and good evening to everybody tuning in here tonight. Live from above the ice here in Newark, New Jersey. My name is Trey Wright. Night number 3 of the JPL playoffs getting ready to kick off here in the semifinal round of the club division for the Jersey Pro League. Game number 1 between the number 1 ranked John Matthew Gaudreau Foundation. They take on the number 5 ranked Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Got about 45 seconds before we get underway here as we'll preview both teams coming into tonight, starting, of course, with the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation, taking down college hockey buzz 2 days ago, all the way back on August 4th, dismantling CHB by a final score of 14-6. Later that evening as well, Mr. Lemon Stick Wax took down Capper Hockey Services, one of the few lower seeds, in fact, the only lower seed to take down their opponent here in these playoffs so far as the defending champion of the club division, staying alive, looking to take down the number 1 seed here to begin and keep their Cinderella run going here this evening. First and foremost, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to tonight's coverage. Our 3rd season of coverage here, the Jersey Pro League. Certainly could not be done without all the viewers at home, everybody helping us out here at the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House here in Newark, New Jersey. All the parents, all the players, all the officials, everybody that tunes in, you are the ones who make this broadcast happen. A big part of the reason we're coming at you live here for the penultimate night of action here in the Jersey Pro League. Of course, tomorrow night is championship night tomorrow evening. The club division and then the pro division getting kicked off here tomorrow evening. Couple of players we'd like to mention here so far that have done well in these playoffs. Starting, of course, we're going to start this time with Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Christian Adamski has been very well so far in these playoffs. 2 goals on the season. Rather, Griffin O'Shaughnessy was looking at Capper Hockey Services stats there for a brief moment. Griffin O'Shaughnessy leads LSW for the point with 2 points yesterday evening. And he looks to keep the defensive run going for LSW here this evening. Lemon Stick Wax wearing their lemon yellow and blue uniforms. John and Matthew Gaudreau, of course, wearing their Boston College-inspired brown and gold tarps. We get ready for game number 1 of the semifinal night of JPL Club Division action. Of course, later on this evening, we'll get game number 2 between BSB and Homegrown Hockey, but that, of course, is then. This is now. It's Josh Kushner and Jake Rosalenko will meet at the face-off dot right at the New Jersey Devils logo here in the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. We get ready to get loud, get proud, and kick off some more playoffs here. Off the opening draw, and it's a successful win for LSW. Richard Williams had it and lost it in the bench as it nearly goes over the shoulder. Our camera operator in the bench here this evening. 8 seconds gone here in period number 1. LSW, like we said during the pregame show, the only lower seed team to win in these playoffs so far. They win the face-off. It's Williams who's got it in his own corner. They'll take it behind his netminder of Jacob King. They'll get it over to Sean Bruno. A couple of Red Foxes making it work. Skating along in the near side is a TCNJ Lion of Josh Kushner. He and Sean Bruno trying to dig after it at the point. Instead, it's taken the other way here by Clayton Pryal, and he'll get it up to Hollis Hollywood Humphreys, who was trying to get through the entire defense there. Humphreys has got it on the tape again, wearing the double 9 tier a la Wayne Gretzky. Drops it back over, and launching it square into the Canadian flag was Dylan Stiles, and the alternate captain will freeze play. 46 seconds gone here in period number 1 as we'll take a look at tonight's goaltending matchup. Like we mentioned, Jacob King, the Vernon, New Jersey native, 1 for 1 of these playoffs so far. A GAA of 4 and an 86.2 save percentage for the Delaware Blue Hen. On the other side, Matt Carter, the Florham Park, New Jersey native. 1-0 on the season as well. Boasting a GAA of 6 as Jacob King will survive his first test of the evening. A save percentage of 71.4. J&M beginning to buzz in the defensive zone here for LSW. They're trying to get some things to go, and they score! A flurry of chances right in front of Jacob King, and J&M Gaudreau will open the scoring here in round 2. We'll get another look at it. It's the captain, Peter Cross, who lights the lamp for the opening time tonight. Crossover on just a wicked wrister from one knee. Able to send that over the shoulder of Jacob King. 3 shots on net here for the J&M Gaudreau Foundation, and they find twine to make it a 1-0 contest. We'll get the particulars for you here in a brief moment. And they score again! It's Matt Hughes, the High Point Panther, who doubles up the lead just a couple of seconds later, and it's quickly a deuce goose egg. So we get a look at the celly line. Matt Hughes filling in for Kyle Gregory here this evening. So we'll get another look at it here. Taken up here by Evan Redmond. A crossover to Hughes and another wrist shot. Going glove side underneath of King. And it is quickly a 2-0 contest here in favor of the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation, and they are absolutely showing why they are the #1 seed here in this tournament. Another clap bomb from long range, and they score again. This time it's Braden Giederman triples the lead, not even 3 minutes into the contest. I tell you what, those long-range chances through traffic have not been John King's friend so far here tonight. Giederman from just outside of the Ovechkin office rifles one home. And 3 shots in a row, 3 goals. And LSW just trying to pick up where they have been blown apart here in the opening stages of this contest. So in case you're just tuning in, you've missed quite a lot. 3 straight goals here from the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation, scoring at will so far in this contest. It was Peter Cross who scored the first goal here. Then it was Matt Hughes to score the second. And just a couple of moments ago, Braden Giederman scored the third, as finally getting a touch on the other side is Matt Carter. And that will count as a shot on goal. So LSW will finally get one in that department. Like we were talking about Carter, 71.4 save percentage in that contest. A couple of days ago against College Hockey Buzz in that 14-6 victory back on the 4th. And a GAA of 6 to boot. JT Verdino trying to make things going, but not able to keep it in at the zone was LSW. And finally, they get a little bit of breathing room to try to get back here in the contest. We have seen teams come back in these playoffs so far. We saw BSB and Synergy have a heck of a night yesterday evening, where BSB led by about 3 goals going into the third period, if I'm not mistaken. And Synergy tied it. BSB was able to win in overtime with a Michael Otrondo overtime game winner to send BSB to the semifinal round here against Homegrown Hockey this evening. A back-to-back for BSB. Kushner will stampede his way across the red line. That one waffle boarded into the corner there by Matt Carter, so he'll get his official first save of the evening. That was on net. In transition, Pryl down the near side. Trying to quadruple this lead, was trying to drop it all the way back over to Peter Cross, who's looking for his second of the period. This one will skirt all the way over to Carter. And just a little too out far in front for James Stevens to try to do anything about it. 11:07 to go here in the opening frame. Getting the particulars for you. Goal number 1 was Peter Cross from Evan Jones. Goal number 2, Matt Hughes from Ryan Callahan. Actually, Matt Hughes from Evan Redmond. And goal number 3 for the John Matthew Gaudreau Foundation. We'll get to in a brief moment. Is trying to get on the scoreboard is Griffin O'Shaughnessy. They score! All 3 University of Delaware Blue Hens crash in the High Point Panthers cage. And just like that, LSW is able to stop the GSW from bleeding, and it's a 3-1 contest. We are having a little bit of a discussion with the referees if there was goaltender interference against Carter. Everybody was jamming in at the goal crease. And it will, in fact, be a goal. I think if James Witherite is watching our stream, he's happy to see all 3 of his Blue Hen boys being able to jam the vulcanized rubber in the back of the 4x6 and drawing within 2. Here is BSB, but right again. What a save there from Jacob King on a 2-on-0. He was able to just get across in time to rob Ryan Callahan. This one goes out of play. Just we were talking about LSW getting back in the dance, a 2-on-0, and what looked like a surefire goal from the Montclair Blue of Callahan. Just barely not going in the back of the net. And it remains a 3-1 contest. Humphreys couldn't keep it in the zone. Tracking back forward is Dylan Stiles. Stiles sends it across to a teammate. This pass intended for Hollywood. Humphreys and taken there by Williams. Taken back again. Humphreys with a very interesting hand pass there that was not called down. Shot on net, saved there by Carter. Rebound came over to Vastola, I believe. Rather, that was O'Shaughnessy. 2 quick saves there. Meanwhile, Mr. Lemon Stick Wax is trying to get in the contest, but here comes Stiles the other way. Stiles looking to bring it back to a 3-goal lead. O'Shaughnessy the other way. 3-on-2 the other direction for LSW. The Blue Hens looking for the flying V the other direction. Trying to get it back the other direction. However, was Ryan Callahan. He'll turn it over, and we will get a whistle and a penalty, a slash being called here. I believe this might be going against Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. And it indeed will. It'll be Evan Redmond who will be taking the penalty shot. Redmond, the fill-in skater from Morristown Beard, will start along the near side with it, trying to bring it back to a 3-goal lead for John and Matthew Gaudreau. And reading that move like a chapter book was Jacob King. Good poke check there on the aid of Redmond, and it remains a 3-1 contest. So Jacob King is able to get a stop here. Shots even at 4 so far. Believe they'll add an additional shot to Jacob King's stat line. As falling down was Sean Bruno, trying to take a whip at it, and he'll go over the net. Rather, that was Kyle Butchuk. And the Marist faithful, scratch that, the Mr. Lemon Stick Wax faithful, calling for a penalty there on Butchuk, but it looked like he just maybe blew a tire there right across the Citizens Bank logo. So LSW will not get a penalty shot, and here comes J&M the other direction. Ty Vastola trying to dangle around the defense, taken back here by Cross. Cross trying to get through the entire D-line. He'll take it down the near side. We'll get it up to the 11 of Rosalenko. Rosalenko was trying to find some drama in front there in the 37 of Pryal. And Kushner will take this back the other way for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Rather, that's Tim Wanvig. Across the far side, Wanvig through traffic, trying to get it all the way over, but missed Zach Taylor by a mile. Vastola racing after a clap bomb incoming from the Blue Hen, and a save there from Carter. Trying to dig after it the other way. That's the 25 of Chase Gaudioso. He's trying to dig after it. He and Peter Cross will come together. Joining the fray, the 15 of Evan Jones. Rebound trickled through the blue paint. Nobody in yellow was able to get a touch of it. And Jones will take it back behind his own cage. LSW playing a ferocious forecheck right now as this one sent off. Ty Vistola will catch it in his glove and he'll put it right back down to his stick. 8:20 to go in the first period. A lot of back and forth action here over the last couple of moments. Waffle board save into the corner there from Carter. That was a chance there from Nicholas Viola. J&M the other direction. Dylan Stiles with it once more as the 224 is colliding in the corner. Wanvig trying to dig after it. Taking it away is the 8 of Redmond. Redmond looking to go barred down. Didn't miss by much. Comes back over to Humphreys. Humphreys kicks it back to himself. Save made there on the kick by King. And trying to dig it out of there is Zach Taylor. He'll lift it all the way down. Icing waved off. Sean Bruno, first one to touch up on it. Bruno wasn't able to keep it in. Tape-to-tape pass all the way over to Humphreys. Gets it over to Redmond. 3-on-2 in favor of J&M Gaudreau, and trying to stick it in on the open net was Matt Hughes. Continue to go back and forth as that's a little bit too far ahead for Josh Kushner. Looking for the tap in was J&M, and LSW the other direction. Bruno with it to Verdino. Verdino trying to windmill deke his way through. Fighting forward all the way at the corner. Both teams. Williams is in there, but it will be taken back here by the 24 of Stiles. Kushner looking for a lane. Sends it over to a brown and gold jersey. Hughes trying to dig after it, and he will. Try to send it back over to the 7 of Matt Goggin. Tape to tape over to Hughes. Hughes across the near side, trying to send it back over to Redmond. He fanned on it. And we'll get a whistle here. And another penalty coming up here. And I believe it is going to be another penalty shot in favor of the J&M Gaudreau Foundation. It'll be Hollywood Humphreys taking the penalty shot here for the J&M Gaudreau Foundation. Humphreys trying to get through King. 2 for 2 on the penalty shot. King once again says no on Humphreys. So we're past the midway point here in period number 1. Shots even at 7 apiece, 3-1. John Matthew Gaudreau Foundation leads. After scoring 3 straight goals in the opening 3 minutes of the game, Nicholas Viola was the blue hen to touch it back home. Nearly bringing it back to a 3-goal lead was J&M, however. Jones trying to get it back over to Rosalenko, taken here by Pryal. Pryal to nobody in Brown. Taken here the other way by Vistola. Vistola banks it off of the half wall. Over to O'Shaughnessy, who gives chase. Taken the other way by Pryal. Gets over to Rosalenko. He gets it back over to Pryal. And a delayed offside by about maybe 2 inches will freeze play. Pryal thought he had just a little bit over there, but he was just a little bit ahead of the vulcanized rubber entering the zone. It'll be a neutral zone face-off that is promptly won by the J&M Gaudreau Foundation. King will get it in his glove a la second baseman, and he'll cover up with 5:54 to go in period number 1. Another reminder that later on this evening at 8:30 Eastern Time here from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House, game number 2 of the playoff semifinals for the Jersey Pro League Club Division between the number 2 ranked Homegrown Hockey and the number 3 seeded Breakout Sports Broadcasting. It'll kick off later in about the headline, trying to take it the other direction as O'Shaughnessy couldn't quite get it away. Vistola will wheel it back the other direction here. Marchinako trying to get it out, but instead it's Pryal the other way. Pryal right on the tape of Rosalenko. He is right down Broad Street, and he's denied by King. Another good save there from Jacob King after giving up 3 goals on 3 shots. He has been dialed in like a clock. And Braden Giederman the third goal scorer in this game for the J&M Gaudreau Foundation, will wait behind his own Tendy. Giederman will go down the near side. Try to get it over to Rosolenko. He'll touch up on it to negate the icing. Wholesale line change for J&M. Now Wanvig nearly turned it over to Matt Hughes. Hughes is able to dangle his way through traffic, but brings it back over in the neutral zone. Hughes skates into his own end, gets it over to Goggin. Goggin trying to backhand it all the way over, taken here by LSW. Boychuk trying to dig after it, Hill race after along with Goggin. Goggin, the Pioneer, versus the Red Fox. A couple of Red Foxes on that LSW program from Marist as Peter Cross will bank it into his own offensive zone. Back of the far side, blocked there for the 21 of Bauer Crooks. Brought down to the ice was a Lemon Stick Wax player. I believe that was Josh Kushner that drew a penalty. And LSW will get their first opportunity on the penalty shot here to bring themselves back within one. It was Chase Gaudioso, the URI Ram, that drew the penalty and will take the penalty shot. Starts down the near side. Here on Carter, and just lifted it over to the shoulder of the Tendy. So it remains a 2-goal lead for the J&M Gaudreau Foundation. 3:58 to go in period number 1. Taylor and Rosolenko off of the draw. Rosolenko will win it. Got it back over to Goggin. Now some tape-to-tape passing. Tim Wanvig trying to get it back over, and he gets absolutely laid out, and he will draw a penalty. I'm not sure if it was Pryal that drew the penalty or if it was Wanvig. They both collided right in front of the LSW bench, and it will be Clayton Pryal who will be taking the draw. And the Lemon Stick Wax bench absolutely incensed at the call, as Pryal will take it the other direction, trying to bring it back to a 3-goal lead. Here he is on King, and he scores. So Clayton Pryal will bring it back to a 3-goal advantage for the J&M Gaudreau Foundation on the first penalty shot goal of the evening out of 3 attempts. And the LSW bench and faithful absolutely incensed at the call, and really don't blame him. Doesn't look like there was any much of foul play there. But again, this is a no-contact league. In the grand scheme of things, like you would typically see in the junior level, that looked like it would be okay. But, of course, at this level of play, this is Summer League hockey. We're not trying to injure each other. We don't want anybody to get injured, God forbid. And, of course, safety is the number one concern. But, of course, here in the playoffs, anything goes. As James Stevens will bring this in on a delayed offside. 3:17 to go in the opening frame. I will say that absolutely killed a lot of momentum that LSW had over those last couple of moments. They were able to bring it back to a 2-goal deficit, and they had a lot of momentum, just weren't able to capitalize on some decent chances. Of course, Matt Carter has been elite so far. Probably the best goaltender in the JPL this season. Big part of the reason why J&M Gaudreau are the number 1 ranked team. I believe they've only had 1 loss in the regular season coming into these playoffs. Got really good goaltending, as trying to backhand it in the Jack Hughes play was Hollywood Humphreys. Wasn't able to make it stick that time. He'll get it on his tape the other way. They score! Humphreys all the way over, and he got it to Evan Redmond. And 2 more quick goals here from the J&M Gaudreau Foundation. It's a 4-goal lead. It was Clayton Pryal once again there, so that's his 2nd in a row. Humphreys across and sent it over to Pryal, who was well alone in the low slot. And it makes it a 4-goal lead for the John Matthew Gaudreau Foundation. 5-1 your score. We're not out of the first period just yet. Ryan Callahan was looking to put a touchdown on the board here in this first period. And LSW trying to take it the other way. A good back check there from a J&M Gaudreau Foundation skater. They will take it in their own end. Braden Giederman right now with the go-ahead goal in this contest. Getting it back over to Evan Redmond. Redmond across, 3-on-2 the other way for JMG. Cleared out of here by Ty Vistola, and this will go the length of the ice. Icing will be waved off, surprisingly. And this will be taken here by Richard Williams. Williams looking for the backhander over the shoulder of Carter as well. He misses by about 2 feet. Trying to dig after it there was LSW. Now it's Stiles the other way. Stiles on a 2-on-1. Good back check there from Wanvig. 224s colliding once again. Wanvig shoving Stiles in the corner. Doesn't draw a call this time, and now it's a 2-on-1 for LSW. Here's O'Shaughnessy back across to Stevens. Carter got both the initial shot and the rebound, and he'll cover up. Like we said, offense wins games, defense wins championships. The defense and the goaltending has been excellent so far for this JMG program. 6 goals allowed against the number 8 ranked Hockey House podcast on Monday night. They've only allowed 1 so far as we approach the final minute of play here in period number 1. Trying to dig after it there was an LSW skater. Josh Kushner trying to get it. He can't quite get it on the other way, however. This is Cross, who's got the game's opening goal for JMG. This one fluttered over the glove of King, but wide of the cage. That originated from Evan Jones. 32 to play in period number 1. O'Shaughnessy will take it in transition. Nicholas Viola will get it back over for O'Shaughnessy. LSW was onside as Viola was tied up in the low slot. Stevens has got it, 16 to play in the opening period. Stevens has got it again, gets it over to Viola. Stevens trying to get it all the way over as he collided with the 15 of Evan Jones. This goes out the other way. Tim Wanvig with 1 second remaining will close it out himself as, well, a bit of a bad collision there right between the circles between Redmond and Humphreys. But other than a little bit of snow on the two, they look no worse for wear. We'll pause for a couple of moments here as we are at the first intermission of play. 5 goals in period number 1 for JMG. We'll see what they'll do here in the middle period here in just a couple of moments. $15 down, 30 to go here in game number 1 of the semifinal round of the Jersey Pro League Club Division playoffs here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. My name is Trey Wright, live from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey. The John Matthew Gaudreau Foundation leads Mr. Lemon Stick Wax 5-1. The opposite of these two teams' seeds, Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, the 5 seed, J&M Gaudreau Foundation, the 1 seed. Those goals definitely came in legs from JMG. as LSW will win the faceoff. Tim Wanvig will stick it the other way. Peter Cross, Matt Hughes, Braden Giederman, and Clayton Pryal, the 4 different goal scorers for JMG. Pryal with 2 goals in this contest. Nicholas Viola, the lone goal scorer for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. As we get what looks to be an icing call for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, the defending champions, who are in a pretty big hole here. A 4-goal hole, but of course they've got just a little bit south of 30 minutes to play here to get 4 goals on the board, but they got to quell that offense and figure out Matt Carter a little bit more reliably if they want to get back here in this game, trailing by a quartet. This will be another icing call against Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. So we'll do the face-off once again. Shots for that period were 12-7 in favor of JMG, 12-9. Each team looking for their first shot of the period as well. Styles on it again. He's been hungry to find this score sheet this season here in these playoffs so far. He tries to get it around Chase Gaudioso. Styles trying to dig after with Gaudioso, taken here by Humphreys. Humphreys with an assist so far tonight. He's looking for a little bit more on the score sheet. Matt Goggin will wheel it back over. Goggin on it again, try to get it over to Rosalenko. Goggin trying to play quarterback, and this will be taken the other direction here by LSW. Even 3-on-3 numbers the other way. Dropping it back for Gaudioso, trying to get underneath of the pillows. And a save there from Matt Carter once again. Carter has been on it like Blue Bonnet so far this evening. Only 1 goal allowed, and that goal a little bit controversial with a no call on a goaltender interference. But he has been ramrod straight and rock solid for the other 9 times that he has been tested so far this evening. His team has been playing exceptionally well in front of him. They lead by 4. Looking to bring that lead to 5 was the 5 of Matt Hughes. This is Stevens who will take it back down the near side. Stevens on it, trying to have a high riser that goes a little bit too high. This caroms all the way down into his own end, where Verdino and Hughes will race after it. Verdino in 2 in yellow, Hughes, brown in 5. Rosalenko, rather that was Evan Jones. He sent that directly in the glove of Jacob King. And he will freeze play here. 12:57 to go in period 2. Excited to see a lot of these young gentlemen continuing their collegiate hockey careers here in this 25-26 school year, kicking off in about a month, maybe 2 months' time. For some of these guys, a month's time. Of course, we'll see a lot of these names and faces on the BSB side of things in the fall. We'll see Josh Kushner and his TCNJ Lions here. First home game will be September 12th here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. The Lions will be taking on the Owls of Temple here on BSB. Hopefully getting some other clients on here as well. More in the chamber is a good move there from the 8 of Redmond. Trying to set things up. Hughes in the low slot. He was denied. Redmond on it again. Trying to go for the Michigan move. King was having none of that. Kushner trying to wheel it the other way. He has his stick lifted. Bruno trying to take it away from Peter Cross. And Cross will turn it over to Sean Bruno. Kushner a little bit of a half step behind the play. Giederman will take it down the near side. Giederman waits for options. He'll set it up for Redmond. Redmond denied there by King. O'Shaughnessy the other way, trying to get it up to an LSW teammate. Taken back here by JMG. Redmond on it again. Good stick there in the lane from Stevens. And LSW trying to bring themselves back into this contest. They trail by 4. Matt Carter will set it up behind the cage for Humphreys. Humphreys, long pass all the way over for Clayton Pryal. He will negate the icing. Taken back here by LSW on their own end. Wanvig trying to get out of Dodge City, taken up here by LSW. Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, taken away by Clayton Pryal once again. Wanvig along the corner, now it's a 2-on-1. Here comes JMG the other way, but Humphreys can't quite get a handle of it. Still has possession, turns it over to Griffin O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy will send it into the Chick-fil-A logo, goes back in possession of 21 of Bauer Crooks. Goggin has got it. He will send it up for Sakevich. Sakevich drops it back to Humphreys. Humphreys waiting for options. The entire zone is clogged. Rebound comes right in the low slot. Turnaround shot just goes wide of King. Back the other way, taken out of Dodge City in harm's way by Wanvig. Here come the Hens the other way. O'Shaughnessy up to Viola. Viola on net, got the bar off. Couldn't quite get the entire shot off, however. Sakevich trying to stick it out. Viola will chop it down. Here comes Humphreys the other way, gets it over to Pryal. Pryal is onside. He will stick it up. 2-on-1. Humphreys takes aim, goes short side, and stopped by King. Sharpshooter shot there from Hollis Humphreys in his second season in the Jersey Pro League. We'll have to see if we'll get any more games with the Providence College Friars. ACHA Division II program, all the way up in Providence, Rhode Island. It's funny to see Humphreys and Pryal working so well together. Rather, it's Jake Rosolenko. No, it's not Jake Rosolenko. Who am I thinking of that's from URI? I believe it's an LSW skater that's from URI. Lane's clogged. Here comes Wanvig with it. And it's Chase Gaudioso that I'm thinking. The Rhode Island connection, the two Rhode Island schools facing off against one another. Rebound collected by the 27 of Taylor. He'll wheel across the half wall. Now he wheels at the top of the zone. Gets it to his Red Fox teammates of Richard Williams. Taylor trying to dig after it. Wheeled out by the Pioneer. Now on a breakaway. Here's Cross. Got the goal scoring started. Richie Williams with a really good back check. Negates the breakaway. JMG still has the zone. Sending one on net there was Redmond once again. Jacob King trying to dial back in. Is looking for a little bit more offense from his program. No goals so far in this middle frame. All 6 goals scored by either side have been done in period 1. Gaudioso trying to change that trend. Gets it up to Boychuk, who takes it. Was taken away there by Pryal. Pryal with a 2-on-1 developing. 2 goals in a row already. Gets it over to Rosolenko. This goes over the crossbar. Pryal hit up high. Referees will let them play. And LSW will take it the other direction. 3-on-3. Taylor's got it, trying to dig it away from a JMG Brown jersey. This will go into the neutral zone. Everybody trying to dig after it. This goes on to the stick of Hughes. Hughes on the other way. Pryal down the far side. Was looking for the Natty Hattie. He's denied by King. Pryal on it again. Back to the top of the zone for Crooks. Crooks over to Humphreys. Humphreys off of the shoulder of King. It's Verdino who will take it the other direction in transition. Verdino up to Bruno. He loses it. Pryal will set it up the other direction. 2-on-1 the other way for JMG, and that one goes between the skates of the 15 of Jones. And now it's Verdino. Rather, that's Josh Kushner. Kushner and Verdino. Kushner trying to get it to Verdino. Verdino a little bit too far in front. Back and forth we continue to go. It's been nothing short of a pinball back and forth race here so far in the second period. No team has really been able to set up shop offensively. And JMG is hoping to try to run out the clock and play a little bit of defense here as Kushner will wheel the other direction. Kushner's got speed. He looks to take aim. Goes wide of the net. LSW now trying to knock on the door. That's Matt Carter. Some nifty moves from Stevens. Puts it right into the gear of Carter. He'll freeze play. 6:51 to go in the second period. JMG still with the majority of shots here, 22 in the contest so far compared to the 13 by Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. LSW just trying to do their best to potentially get back into the game and defend their title. Cross the other way, was looking for the tap-in on the other side from Crooks, who was tied up. Pistola trying to wheel it out. Rather, that was Viola. And O'Shaughnessy was not able to get there in time. This will be icing against LSW. Past the midway point in tonight's contest. 6:33 to go in the second period, 5-1. J&M Gaudreau Foundation leads. Reminder that tomorrow night at 8:30 will be the club division final. That'll be directly after the pro division final tomorrow evening. That'll be game number 1 taking place at 7 o'clock between X Hockey Products and Top Line Hockey. XHP looking to take back their title they lost last season to Team Chima. That'll be tomorrow evening, and of course, trying to defend their title once again will be LSW. Looking to go short side once more was Rosalenko. That deflects up into the high netting with 6:01 to go. Again, the JPL Pro Division game tomorrow night will be the opening act. 7 o'clock Eastern Time here from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House for our final night of JPL action here in the 2025 offseason. And the winner of these two games this evening will play in the later game. Puck drop at 8:30. J&M Gaudreau Foundation looking to be one of the halves that'll play in that contest. They still got a long way to go, north of 20 minutes to play in this game. They do trail by 4. That's not something you want to get comfortable with, as one of the LSW skaters was caught up high. Referees' arms remained at their sides. Goggin the other way. Nobody was home. Icing will be waved off. O'Shaughnessy, he's got some speed, he's got some space, looking to go between the legs on a dangle. And went up into the wrong netting, not the netting he wanted to go into. Wanted to tickle the twine, not the netting. .506 to go in the second period. Face-off is won by LSW. Stevens will send it in. Save there by Carter. Save number 15 of the evening for Carter. Looking to backstop his team into a championship game. Still a long way to go. And LSW just trying to stay alive and trying to keep their title defense dreams alive. They are down a whole lot right now, and Humphrey's trying to add on to that. Humphreys on a 1-on-3, another short side chance on King, and another stoppage with south of 5 to go in the second period. LSW wins the draw. Stevens trying to get it over to a Marist teammate. This is lifted out by Boychuk. Gaudioso trying to give chase, trying to set up Zach Taylor, who was denied. He was tied up in the mid-slot. Humphreys the other way. Able to bat it down in the air, but this will go to the other direction. Giederman on it, try to put on the stick of Evan Redmond. Redmond trying to dig after it with Gaudioso, and Gaudioso will take it back into the offensive zone. Redmond's got it. He's got a little bit of space, potentially odd man rush the other way. Redmond dropping it back for Pryal. Pryal back to Redmond. Redmond trying to get it over to Giederman, who was waiting for it, and King will say enough of this nonsense and cover. Time winding down in the second period of play. Kushner trying to get it up to Bruno. Kushner down the far side. Kushner brought down, and he will draw a penalty. And LSW, here, if you're Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, this is a must-score scenario. If you want to have any sort of momentum going into this third period of play, you got 3:33 remaining in the second. You got 15 minutes in the third. But a lot of pressure on Josh Kushner right now to keep his team in the contest. Kushner the Lion against Carter the Panther. And Kushner with a dart tickles the twine, and it's back to a 3-goal deficit. It was a must-score scenario, and Kushner answers the bell. We'll get that at you one more time. Run-of-the-mill skate up and shot there from Kushner, the sophomore from TCNJ. Lefty will whip it home. The first penalty shot goal for them tonight, and the other way, right on cue, they score. Matt Hughes with a bottle rocket. He one-times it in. The touchdown is on the board, and it is back to a 4-goal lead. And that was pretty much right off of the draw. And J&M Gaudreau wasting absolutely no time on it. Right place, right time, and King just a little bit early on the glove. Matt Hughes will score to make it a 6-2 lead, and makes you thankful. It's an LSW skater brought down, and now we're going to get a Donnybrook. You had a feeling that was coming, as we have got a brawl right in the corner. I couldn't tell who was involved in that, as Jacob King is over there. Not entirely sure who was involved in that. I believe it was Rosalenko and maybe Kyle Butchuk. The tempers, of course, boiling over. That all started with a player getting knocked down in the corner right in front of the referee. That was Boychuk that got knocked down. I think that was Kushner that was into it with Rosalenko. Wanvig joined the fray. We are going to have a talk about it with the officials. Yeah, Boychuk got brought down right in front of the referee. Kushner took exception to it. Trying to see which skater it was that brought down. We're still going to get a discussion about it. That was right off of the draw to make it after the goal. Trying to see which number that is. I don't know if that might be David Sakevich or Evan Jones. Nonetheless, a lot of pushing and shoving. JT Verdino going back to the bench, I believe. He was involved in that scrum as well. And this will all end up with a penalty shot in favor of the J&M Gaudreau Foundation. So it's Matt Hughes who will take it, as Jacob King will make another stop. I believe that is, what, the 5th penalty shot for JMG in this contest? And again, looking at the stream on the replay, it looked like it really should have been coincidentals. You know, if anything, coincidentals, you know, maybe interference on JMG. But nonetheless, it remains a 6-2 contest. But again, the LSW faithful not happy with the call. Sean Bruno trying to race out Matt Goggin. Bruno was able to win the draw. He is brought down. He will draw a call. And it's beginning to look a lot like playoff hockey. Checking everywhere. That was Matt Goggin who sent Sean Bruno into the boards, and Bruno will take a penalty shot. I believe that is our 9th penalty shot of the game. We are just past the second period, 2:42 to go. Bruno trying to score, and he does! So wash, rinse, repeat, and basically just wash away the last probably 45 seconds of game that we've had. It's a 6-3 contest. And that looked identical to Josh Kushner's penalty shot goal. Nothing too glamorous. The only same shot selection, this time going through the 5-hole. The only real difference there was that Sean Bruno's right-handed and Josh Kushner's left-handed. Other than that, pretty much the same thing. So it's a 6-3 game. Here, approaching the final pair of minutes in the second period. It has been an eventful second period, to say the least. Not a whole lot of goal scoring, but a little bit of a tussle down over in the corner. No fisticuffs were actually thrown. And Pryor will get it back over to Crooks. Crooks tied up there. Here comes Wanvig the other way, and he'll skate the other direction. And Wanvig try to get it over to Josh Kushner. And the Roadrunner couldn't quite get it over to the Lion. 2:01 to go in the second period. An offensive or a neutral zone draw right in front of the LSW bench. LSW just trying to get back into this game, and I think that penalty shots might be the Achilles heel of Matt Carter. Like we have seen so far, 2 of the 3 goals have been on the penalty shot. Carter has been steady so far else. Williams sends one in, was looking for a redirect from Viola. That one over. O'Shaughnessy denied there by Carter, point blank. Matt Carter proving why he is one of the most dangerous goaltenders in the Jersey Pro League. That was a big buck moment right there. Giederman now sending it the other way. Giederman tried to get it over to a teammate, taken away by LSW. Here comes LSW right down the near side, trying to stick it all the way over. Giederman, however, will take it back in the other direction. Giederman skates through a couple of defensemen. He was trying to split the D. Stick check there by Yellow Jersey, but keeping alive is Sakevich. Sakevich to Pryle, back across. Here's Redmond on it, and a pad save from King. Still JMG holds possession. 46 seconds to go in the second period. Buckle up for an exciting third period of action. But right now, Redmond trying to kick the convert here for the 7th goal. Trying to wheel after. There was a 24 of Stiles. Here comes O'Shaughnessy, a potential 2-1-0 the other way. O'Shaughnessy right on to Carter. Carter did not make the save. O'Shaughnessy scores. The Blue Hens crash Carter, and it's a 2-goal lead, and now some more extracurriculars after the fact. That was Sakevich, who was taking advantage or taking exception to what looked to be another crash play there from LSW. And hold on to your horses, folks. This game far from over. It is now down to a 2-goal advantage with 18 seconds to play. And LSW far from out of it. And JMG far from holding on to this for the final 15 minutes. But right now, 3 seconds to go. Looking for one final chance to bring them back up 3. They will not. 30 down, 15 to go. Mr. Lemon Stick Wax trying to come back and send this game into potentially overtime, or we're going to see what's going to happen here in this third period of play. But irregardlessly, we'll be back in just a couple of moments for what is excitingly going to be an incredible third period of action here from the Hockey House. And we are back here for the third period of play. Game number 1 of the evening, a chippy game at that, between the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation and Mr. Lemon Stick Whack. 6-4 with 15 to play in period number 3. Pitter patter, let's get at her from the face-off dot, and JMG will win the draw. The particulars from all 4 goals scored in that second period. Josh Kushner had the first goal on a penalty shot, then Peter Cross, about 5 seconds later, had a goal from Matt Goggin. Sean Bruno on a penalty shot, then Griffin O'Shaughnessy from Ty Vistola. As getting whacked there was Kyle Boychuk. LSW faithful wanted a call, they won't get one. Here's Boychuk the other way. I guess it was Richard Williams that got hit behind the play. Matt Carter will take it down. Rather, that was the 9 of James Stevens. Again, there's like, 4 Maris players on this LSW program. They've all got the exact same kit. It's hard to differentiate them from one another, especially through netting at some points. Zach Taylor trying to win the draw, taken aback here by Bauer Crooks. Crooks up to Pryal. Pryal to Humphreys. Humphreys trying to bring this back to a 3-goal lead for JNMG. Trying to send it up. Over for Goggin. That one across. Trying to dive back over is Jacob King, and he's able to make the stop. Puck is still loose. Getting it out is Gaudioso. He will clear it and ice it. A flurry of activity in front, and that all climax there with Jacob King. One of the most impressive goals that we will see in these playoffs. These impressive saves, I should say. That all started with Humphreys over in the corner. Trying to wheel and deal, getting over to Goggin. The puck was loose right in front for Rosalenko, and saying nuh-uh was King. Desperation save there from King, and he was able to make good on it. Wanvig will skate it the other way. Trying to get it over to Gaudioso. Carter with a short side save. Gaudioso turns it over. Here comes Hughes the other direction. Hughes holds up, waits. Will send it over into the corner, sticks it over to Cross. Cross to Redmond. Redmond waiting for options. He is covered from behind by Taylor. Redmond will turn it over in the offensive zone. Trying to race after it is Boychuk. He and Gatorman were fighting for it for a brief moment. Digging after it is Taylor. Taylor on it. He will send it off of the half wall. Verdino fighting with Jones in the near side. Cross trying to stick after it. Gets over to Boychuk, but he's not able to corral it. Humphreys has got it. Pulls it away from Kushner. Kushner trying to take it away from the Friar. Humphreys will put it on to King, and the Hen will stick it away. Verdino in the other way. 3-on-3. As Josh Kushner with a snapshot wrist shot will put it square into the glove of Carter. He'll freeze play once more. Shots 26-20 as LSW quietly but certainly creeping back up in the shot ratio. They've crept up back into this contest, only trailing by 2. 2-goal lead, the worst lead to have in hockey, as they say, and that's exactly the lead that JNMG has right now. LSW desperately just trying to get back into the contest to potentially defend their title from 24. 2-on-2, Pryles got it down the near side. Sticked away by Williams. Humphreys trying to keep possession of it. Rosalenko up to Giederman. Giederman back over to Humphreys. Humphreys in the corner trying to find Rosalenko. It finds Pryles. Pryles looking for a goal. Denied. Bruno the other way. Tape-to-tape pass over to Verdino. Verdino was trying to find Kushner. Turn it back over to Jake Rosalenko. Bruno on the other way. Here's Stevens and Williams, the 6 and the 9, trying to crash after it. And here comes Humphreys. Humphreys with time and space around the defense. Sends it over the crossbar. Verdino will take it the other way. Verdino trying to get it over to Kushner. Taken back by Braden Giederman. Giederman over to Humphreys. Humphreys and O'Shaughnessy collide. Comes back to Giederman at the red line. Giederman across over to Jones. 11:20 to go in the second period. Time whittling down for LSW. They only trail by 2, but they have got to stop this hard-charging offense that JMG has had. And we are going to get another penalty, our 10th of the evening. It'll be a hook, and it will once again go against LSW. And it will be Matt Hughes who will be taking his 3rd penalty shot of the evening. We'll see if 3 times is a charm. It is in fact not. He goes wide. King, I believe, got a little bit of a piece of it. And it remains a 2-goal lead. That is the 7th penalty shot this game so far for JMG. 3 of the penalty shots have gone in favor of LSW. They have converted on 2 of them. Hughes trying to glove it down. He has got 1 goal so far tonight, I believe. O'Shaughnessy trying to dig after it with Cross. He goes hard into the boards by Wanvig. Cross will punch Wanvig in the back of the head. He's down and he will draw a penalty. Delayed penalty here against LSW. And again, the referees and the lines people have got to get control of this contest. It has already nearly boiled over the top once, as Peter Cross whacking Wanvig in the back of the head, and we're going to see if there's anything other than just a penalty shot. We are going to get a discussion about it between the referees and the lines people, and it will just be a run-of-the-mill penalty shot here for Tim Wanvig. Penalty shot number 4 of the evening for LSW. Wanvig in on Carter, was trying to go 5-hole. Carter shut the door with the glove. Penalty shot has not been the friend of either team so far tonight. I believe only 4 penalty shots of the 11 have been successfully converted, 2 for either side. Offensive zone draw will go into the neutral zone. Taking the other way is Redmond. He gets it up to Rosalenko. Rosalenko put it onto the stick of King, who deflects it into the netting. And we'll get another stoppage. Time winding down in this game, and time winding down until game number 2 of the evening will kick off here shortly between Homegrown Hockey and Breakout Sports Broadcasting. A lot of familiar faces on both of those teams. Pryles looking for a hat trick. Pulled back, it will pass it all the way over. This is intercepted by LSW, taken back by Rosalenko. Rosalenko, however, will turn it over, and LSW will take it the other way. Shot on the outside of the net there by LSW as O'Shaughnessy tries to fight for it with Pryal. Taken here by Viola. Viola to O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy just a little bit wide there for Vistola. All four Delaware skaters crash in the cage, and Carter will say enough of this nonsense once more. I tell you what, I cannot wait for Marist and Delaware to play one another in this upcoming ACHA season. I believe the two have scheduled each other. We'll check back officially if that is the case. Redmond over to Pryal. Pryal trying to hold up, gets it back over to Redmond. Evan Redmond sends it across, fanning on a wide open cage there was Stiles. I can't believe he fanned on that, had the entire net open, and somehow did not pull the trigger. Meanwhile, a good poke check from O'Shaughnessy will force Pryal to take it out of the zone. Stiles has got it on the tape once again, nearly tripped up there by LSW. He retains possession. Wide open cage, and it just trickled over the red line. That was even closer somehow for Stiles, and he can't catch a break. LSW just trying to take it away. Time winding down, under 9 to go in the third period. Long range chance from Boychuk goes wide of the corner. Stiles on it once more. He'll bank it off, trying to get it for Humphreys, but crashing is Taylor. Those two colliding. Humphreys is trying to get out of harm's way. We'll put it on the stick of Hughes. Hughes across to Cross. Cross with the game's opening goal deflected. Here's Gaudioso who's got it. He'll take it the other way. Gaudioso pickpocketed by Humphreys, and he'll get the Vulcanized rubber back. Gaudioso trying to get it around Hughes. Hughes will get it back over to Bauer Crooks. Crooks had it, lost it. Trying to get it there was Taylor. Doesn't look like anybody wants the puck as Gaudioso sent Crooks into the boards. No call, we play on. Stevens keeps it in physically. Sent Cross's jockstrap into the rafters for a brief moment. Gets it back to Gaudioso. Gaudioso not able to keep it in the zone. There was Archinaco. And Archinaco will send it back over. Here's Crooks who's got it. Gets it over to Jones. Jones is able to deflect it off of Hughes' tape. The High Point Panther will skate back to the bench. 7:30 to go in period number three, halfway home. They've still got the 2 on the scoreboard. We are in period number 3, and we are officially in the witching hour. Past the midway point in the third period. Gaudioso was blocked there by Humphreys. Rosalenko will take it the other way. Humphreys already up there. He wires and fires and misses. Jones has got it. He'll set it back up for Humphreys. Humphreys offside. And an LSW skater hitting the deck. That was Archinaco in 28. Anthony Archinaco, another one of the TCNJ players that we know fairly well here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. We'll have to see if we'll move up to the Division I level this season, along with Josh Kushner, Daniel Jakob, and collection of players that we've seen all season long here in the Jersey Pro League. 7 even to go in the third. Trailing by 2 was LSW, trying to lock themselves down like Fort Knox is JMG. Scrambling forward right in front of the penalty box. There's everybody, and now a 2-on-1 developing. High riser deflected, and LSW knocking on that door. They will have an offensive zone draw to the right-hand side of Matt Carter. And if you're Matt Carter, time is moving twice as slow right now. With every passing second, you are just trying to get into the championship game played tomorrow at 8:30 here from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. Wanvig tied up in the corner. He is able to try to take it away from Sakevich as those two continue to fight for it. Bruno will join the fray. Stiles will send it in. Set on a platter for Vistola by King. Vistola wheels it up, nearly lost it. Verdino just trying to keep possession of it for LSW. Back and forth we go. Stick in the lane, nobody will hold possession of it. Kushner has got it. Sends it up for Vistola. Vistola gets it up to Bruno, who makes collision. Here comes Kushner with it. Kushner sends it off of the boards. Holds around, waiting for it. It goes in the back of the net. They score! What kind of circus move was that? I don't know, but Kushner will take it. Well, thank goodness for instant replay. Kushner all alone had it. And I don't know what you called it. This was some sort of lacrosse play. I think it may have gone off of Braden Giederman's stick, but it goes in the back of the cage, and we've got a brand new game. 6-5, JMG leads, and storming back has been LSW. The job's not done yet. They still need a goal to tie and 2 to take the lead, but they have got all the momentum right now, and JMG just trying to hold on here. Redmond across for Styles, back to Redmond. O'Shaughnessy just trying to dig after it. Here's O'Shaughnessy. He's got some speed down the far side, trying to tie the game back up. Griffin O'Shaughnessy into the glove. Rebound collected by Carter right at the 11th hour as a couple of hens were crashing. We have seen it over the last 2 years how dangerous Griffin O'Shaughnessy is. And especially if you watch the University of Delaware CHF games broadcasted on our partner channel, the 412, our friend over at James Weatheright's channel, you will know how dangerous that Griffin O'Shaughnessy and all of these University of Delaware guys are. But right now, under 5 to play in period number 3. Goggin and O'Shaughnessy going after it. Pryal and Stevens joining the fray. O'Shaughnessy has got it on the table. Get it back over to a teammate. Back across they go. Here, right on front, just missing it. Another opportunity goes wide of the net. Stevens will keep it in for LSW. Viola's got it, trying to get it to O'Shaughnessy. Viola back over, one-timer chance. What a save from Carter. Carter with the game on the line. His best save of the evening so far, keeps it a lead. Viola trying to get it out. Viola's got it. LSW delayed offside. Now they're onside. Here's Boychuk with it. Boychuk trying to set it in the lane. The net comes off. And looks like Crooks made contact with Viola, who went into Carter, knocked the net off, and play was immediately blown dead. And that was a frightening situation with 3 players knocking down into Carter. Fortunately, Matt Carter looks to be all right. .354 to go in period 3. Plenty of time for LSW, but plenty of time for JMG to potentially ice this contest. They have not scored a goal in this period so far. And all the momentum has been on the side of LSW. Gaudioso down the far side. Trying to wheel after it. Wheels around a defenseman, turns it over. Here comes Jones with it. Jones up to Hughes. Hughes pulling back. He's waiting for options. Sends it back to Jones at the point. That one blocked in front by Wanvig. Rather, that was Archinako. And just trying to kill a little bit of time here is JMG. 3:13 to go in period number 3. Puck intercepted in the defensive zone. Cross trying to get it back over to Pryal, who missed not by much. Gaudioso has got it. We'll flip it out of the zone for Boychuk. Boychuk all alone. Now he's got a winger, but he turns it over. Here comes Humphreys down the center. Humphreys trying to keep it away from Boychuk. He'll send it in. Nobody was home in blue and brown. Vistola's got it. He will send it across. Vistola just misses by about 3 feet. Rosalenko now with it. He will get it out. Humphreys on a one-on-one, make it a two-on-one. Humphreys across. Pryal with a hat trick on the line. Saved there by King. King with the save, just trying to keep it in, not able to do so. Now an offside. Rosalenko touched it right as the puck was going past the blue line. And we'll freeze play, and everybody will collectively exhale. One shot, one goal. That's all Mr. Lemon Stick Wax needs. And how long until Jacob King will go to the bench? Styles across. King with the save. Gets it over to his teammate of Vistola. Verdino on the other way. Gets it over to Bruno. King still in his crease. 2:06 to go in the third. Bruno waiting with it. Holding up, sends it back to the point for Vistola. Vistola trying to get it to Verdino, a little too hot to handle. Vistola keeps it in. He turns it over. Rosalenko not able to get it out of the zone. Now it'll trickle out. Everybody's got to tag up here with $1:47 to go in the third. Richie Williams all the way down his own end. Gets it back over for Wanvik. Wanvik trying to take it away from Pryal. Pryal is down. He is knocked down. No call. 1:35 to go in period 3. Pryal's got it, trying to get it over to Cross. He scores! Peter Cross opened the scoring in the game, and he might very well close it. He brings it back to a 2-goal lead. And it was actually Clayton Pryal, first one in the Selly line, who was able to get the hat trick. And now we're going to get a timeout from Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. That was, in fact, Peter Cross who scored. So Styles will get the primary assist on that, but back to a 2-goal lead, and if you're Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, you are playing the rest of this game without a goaltender, and it has been impressive what Jacob King has been able to do, but those 3 goals back to back to back early in the first 3 minutes of the game, you're playing from behind, you're playing on the back foot immediately, and it's a really good comeback for LSW. They've certainly got their work cut out for them now. We're going to see what these guys are able to do here for the final 128 of this contest. Can they tie this game and pull the rabbit out of their hat? Or the John Matthew Gaudreau Foundation going to be going to the finals tomorrow and taking down the Kings of last season? JMG wins the draw. Taken back here by Boychuk. We'll see him with the Marist Red Foxes next in a couple of months. Same thing with all the men, the young men on this University of Delaware program. Check out our friends over at the 412, like we mentioned a couple of times so far tonight. James Witherite. We're playing for the University of Delaware in this final minute of the game. Williams will intercept. Big hit there right at the blue line from Griffin O'Shaughnessy. And another save there from Matt Carter with 42 to play. To the bench goes Jacob King. We'll get another face-off here. 42 seconds to score 2 goals for Mr. Lemon Stick Wax. Right now, by all metrics, looks like John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation will have a date with a championship tomorrow night. They can clear out of here for the next 36 seconds. The length of the ice it goes. It just misses. Icing will be waived. Williams was the first one to touch up on it. Again, all of these guys for LSW. JT Verdino, the captain of this program, he'll be going back to the Purdue University Northwest. Like we mentioned, all the guys playing for Marist and Delaware. Backhanding it was Sakevich on the empty net. He missed. O'Shaughnessy trying to get after it. Everybody just trying to dive for the vulcanized rubber. 15 seconds to go. Looking for one final chance here with the net empty is LSW trying to bring it back to a one-goal game. Here comes Stevens. He is stick lifted, and that will do it. One half of the coin is inscripted. In their first season, the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation will be playing for a championship. 7-5 is your final. And last year's champions taken down in the 7-5 contest here by the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation. It was a valiant effort from both of these teams. Mr. Lemon Stick Wax was down by 4 goals at one point in this contest. They rallied back to be back within 1, but Matt Carter, Clayton Prile, and everybody on the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation holding serve. And they will take on the winner of Breakout Sports Broadcasting and Homegrown Hockey coming up here in about 10 minutes' time here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. But on behalf of everybody here at BSB for game number 1, we'll see you in about 10 minutes' time here for game number 2 of tonight's doubleheader here at the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey. One game down, one to go as we welcome you back to the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House in Newark, New Jersey for the start of game number 2 of the semifinal round of the Jersey Pro League Club Division, live here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Trey Wright once again on the call, rejoining you for game number 2 of tonight's doubleheader broadcast. Here in the penultimate night of action in the Jersey Pro League, and we have one finalist down, one to go for the club division. 3 of our finalists are down for tomorrow, and 1 remains. Here, the winner of tonight's contest between the number 2 ranked Homegrown Hockey taking on the number 3 ranked Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Homegrown Hockey, no stranger to dominating over these last 2 seasons, and I say 2 seasons is because this HGH team, pretty much the entirety of the William Patterson University roster, this group that played for College Hockey Buzz last year, playing for Homegrown Hockey this season as a number 2 seed. They look to take on the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation, and they absolutely put the pedal to the metal against the Hockey House podcast in the 2 versus 7 matchup on Monday night, a 14-2 victory. And of course, Breakout Sports Broadcasting, if you watched yesterday's game, you will know how dramatic that contest was between BSB and Synergy. A 6-6 tie in the last couple of moments of regulation. Michael Otrondo, a minute and 25 seconds into overtime, scored the game-winning goal to advance BSB to round number 2. Michael Otrondo, the captain of this BSB program. Austin Teets, the captain of Homegrown Hockey. Got a lot of William Patterson, black and orange on the ice. As we getting time to pitter-patter, and let's get at her. For game number 2, we're off and running as Matt O'Donnell will win the draw. Comes back behind the 33 of Casey Connor, Wilson Northampton High School goaltender with a GAA of 6 and a 77.8 save percentage in yesterday's game against Synergy Uniforms. Alex Frascone with the vulcanized rubbers. Everybody trying to feel each other out for the opening 30 seconds in this contest. It's Austin Teets, the ever-dangerous Austin Teets, that's got it. Trying to find a little bit of options, but instead, this will pop back out to Alec Osher. You might notice that it's a little bit of a short bench for Homegrown Hockey. It's a big collision there between Frascone and Osher. And this will go down for an icing. A couple of William Patterson HDH players were caught in traffic en route to this game, so the bench will fill up by a little bit here and there the further we progress into this contest. But of course, on the other side, probably one of the most dangerous goaltending prospects here in the state of New Jersey. That is Little Ferry, New Jersey's Frankie Smith, a 2 GAA and a mind-boggling 93.3 save percentage in game number 1 Monday evening. It won't be hard to find him on the ice, wearing the crease, and he's got that chrome helmet, that color chrome helmet. It's Roman Kirillachev trying to dive across, taken back the other way here by Rider University's Shane Gutt. Gutt shot blocked there by the 13 of Lastra. And back in the other direction, taken here by Matt O'Donnell. Trying to fight with the 1 of Brendan Flaherty, playing for the University of South Carolina, and he'll skate it up the near side. Flaherty looking for Gutt. Instead, he'll take it himself. Goes to the left-hand side of the cage. We'll find Aiden Swain wearing Anthony O'Brien's 51. Don't let that confuse you. Aiden Swain playing for William Patterson University this season. Good back check there from the 1 of Flaherty, and a shot on to Casey Connor for the opening shot of this game here. Just a second. Over 2 minutes gone here in period number 1. 1 shot, 1 save for Chatham, New Jersey's Casey Connor. A couple of guys are out here for BSB this evening. Liam Curry and Colin Reese scratched out. Kyle Rabkin, Anthony DeMario, Connor McDonald, and the aforementioned Brendan Flaherty filling in as substitutes, and only one sub for HGH. Like we said, Aiden Swain filling in for Anthony O'Brien. Everybody else slated as per usual. This is Jason Lastra, who will take it back behind his own cage. And now a little bit of time and space here for HGH. Matthew Barbieri looking for a little bit of space. Taken here by Osher. Takes aim and goes over the crossbar. Trying to wheel it out of there was Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Connor McDonald could not take it down, and that's wheeled out of there by Anthony Frasco. And HGH starting from their own end. Swain and Frasco nearly colliding. Taken here by Barbieri. And Frascone has got it. Frascone along the near side, a little bit of contact there with an HGH skater. He and Swain will collide once again. Those two pretty much magnetically drawn to one another. Trying to get out of there was Trey Walker. He'll turn it over. Here's Kirillachev down the far side. Kirillachev gets around Frascone. Wheel around the defense, gets it up to Vincent Stoffel. Stoffel from long range misses the cage by about 2 feet. And Alex Frascone has got it once again. He'll hold up behind Connor's office. Rabkin has got it. The Marlboro High School skater trying to find Frascone, and he will. Gavin Edmonds will negate the icing by being the first one to touch up on it, as he will collide with the 23 of Stoffel. Trying to wheel after there once again was Frascone. This one goes over the crossbar. Kept in by Rabkin. Stoffel trying to make a dig after it. Here's last night's overtime winner, Michael Otrondo. Scored the game winner as the captain of Breakout Sports Broadcasting. He's looking for a little bit of magic, but he turns it over to Kirillachev, and now a 3-on-2. Numbers the other way. Here's Teat, scores! Holy Toledo! What a wrister from Teats, bar down squarely into the net. And Homegrown Hockey strikes first. Scratch that, that was Thomas Swartout, who absolutely blitzed that bar down. And I think we have seen that about 1,000,001 times there from this season from Swartout. Both he and Teats, the size of a couple of redwood trees, so apologies for getting those two confused, but nonetheless, Swartout is on it again. And how many times are we going to see that from Swartout as Kirillachev looking to double up the lead? We'll put one short side into the padding of Casey Connor. That's Swartout's 6th point of the playoffs, had 5 points, 2 goals and 3 assists in game number 1 against the Hockey House podcast. And already BSB playing a little bit from behind. Swartout trying to take it back once again. Taken up here for O'Donnell. This one patted aside by Connor. Rebound doesn't come just yet. McNulty trying to dig after it. Connor will stick it back over to Kirillachev and back over to the 10 of Colin McNulty. Trying to dig after it again was Kirillachev. He's been all over the goal mouth on this shift so far. McNulty just trying to get it out of there. Goes into the opposite corner. Shane Gutt trying to block off Vincent Stoffel. O'Donnell has got it once again, trying to get it back over to Swartout. In transition, here comes BSB. Flaherty trying to get it back over to Jacob DeFerris. Flaherty has got it in the corner. Back over to Steve Kappas. He's got it. Kappas with 1 goal in the regular season, trying to whip it back over. DeFerris has got it in the corner. DeFerris trying to race after it. DeFerris blows a little bit of a tire there for a brief moment, and is Homegrown just trying to get it out of their own end. Kappas, however, keeping it. He'll turn it over. Here comes Jason Lastra, skates the other direction with it. Lastra to Kirillachev. Kirillachev trying to get it back over to Lastra. Stick in the zone, however. Gets it back to the blue line. Swain's not able to keep it in. HGH's bench continues to filter in with the players being stuck in traffic. Here's Tietz on it for real this time. Tietz looking to tee up a shot, blocked there by Connor. A little bit out of the zone and trying to get out of there was the 17 of Ricky Lipsy, and it's Kappas who will take it down the far side. Whipping one on there. That was the 2 of Connor McDonald, and Frankie Smith able to make his first stop of the evening. Lastra back in the other direction with it. Swain right on the back end of Justin Rauch. Rauch and Swain digging after it. Comes back over to Tietz. Tietz back up. That one just trickles wide of the cage. Referee falls down. He's able to get back up on the 9 feet. We continue to play on. This one sticked out and a snag midair there from Casey Connor will freeze play. Approaching the midway point in period number 1, and already it is a 1-goal lead here for Homegrown Hockey. Trying to double up their lead here was HGH. That was Tietz right off of the faceoff. Particulars on that goal. Thomas Swartout from Roman Kirillachev and Matt O'Donnell. No surprise to see 3 William Patterson skaters all in line on the score sheet. Rauch the other way on a 4-on-3. Gets around the entire defense, but just missed the crossbar a little bit wide. Lastra on the follow-up. Going the other direction. This one goes over the referee's head. Tietz gets it back up to Osher at the blue line. Osher back up to his future teammate of Tietz here in about a month's time. Tietz in the opposite corner. Waiting for options around. Gets it back over to Osher. Rebound chance comes right back to him. He scores! Alec Osher with his first of the playoffs. And the William Patterson commit will double up the lead for Homegrown Hockey. Getting another look at it, and we know this offensive firepower has been something of a beauty. And that was a set play between Tietz and Osher as Barbieri was trying to drive around once again. He will send it back over. This one's stuck up in the netting, and we'll get a stoppage. So Alec Osher, his first goal of this postseason for Homegrown Hockey, will double up the lead. Frankie Smith with only 2 saves to be made so far in this contest in BSB, much like we saw with Mr. Lemon Stick Wax playing a little bit from behind. This is Sean King down the near side. And Casey Connor was trying to glove that at midair. Did not read it correctly, and Sean King will triple the lead. And that was, unfortunately, a Steve Dangle dang it there from Casey Connor, unfortunately. Was trying to glove it down second baseman style, and unfortunately looked a little bit like Anthony Volpe. But nonetheless, it's a 3-goal lead for Homegrown Hockey. Potentially 4 on a hard man rush the other way. This one goes over Connor's head. And BSB, like we saw with Mr. Lemon Stick Wax, 3 early goals being led up here by Breakout Sports Broadcasting. They've got to find their legs in this train wreck after being hit by a freight train. Frascone is on side. Gavin Edmonds takes aim, try to bank it off of the bouncy boards here at the Hockey House. Edmonds trying to dig after it, but this is taken the other direction here by the 22 of Boyle. Boyle will stick it into the end wall. Trey Walker will collect for BSB. Walker with Sean King right behind him. Will steer it away from King. Has to steer it around a couple of white, blue, black, and orange clad skaters. This one nearly put onto the stick there of Jake Sandameno. This will be taken back the other direction here by BSB. Walker on it. Trying to flip it back up to Flaherty, but taken here by Osher. Wheeling and dealing is O'Donnell. Gets it back up to Swartout. Sending it into the corner. Now Justin Rauch will set it up for the one of Flaherty. Flaherty across to Steve Kappas. Kappas protecting the vulcanized rubber, waiting for an option, gets it over to Flaherty. Flaherty trying to send it near side onto Smith, but wasn't able to get anything on the shot. Kirillachev keeps it in, back the other way. A 2-on-1 for Homegrown Hockey. Matthew O'Donnell a little bit tied up there by Justin Rauch. Back the other way, nearly brought in there by Kirillachev, and a pad save from Connor. Osher on it, gets it over to Swartout, takes aim, fires, and a save there from Connor. His 6th save of this young game so far, 4:33 to go in the first period. Face-off controlled by Breakout Sports Broadcasting as Flaherty sticks it back up to Kappas. Kappas ran right into the 13 of Sandameno. Kirillachev trying to deke it back over to himself, looking to go short side there on Connor. Knock the net off of its pegs, and we'll get a freeze and a stoppage. Homegrown Hockey in this group trying to be the other brand new team to make it to the finals here. Much like we saw last season, 2 brand new teams formed last year, made it to the finals. It's a good move from Justin Rauch. Sends it across to his rider teammate of Gut. He blew a stick. And he flung the stick nearly into the neck of Swartout out of frustration. That was a set play by the 2 Broncs. And unfortunately, the stick breaking at the worst possible time. And Gut will go back to the locker room to fetch a new twig. Flaherty has got a 3-on-1 for BSB. Flaherty across, setting up a BSB skater just over the bar. I believe Smith got a piece of it. I believe that was Asante Jr. on that shot there is the other direction. Homegrown Hockey not able to pull off the draw. Back and forth we continue to rumble between these 2 teams with 3:10 to go in the first. Flaherty has been all over the ice so far here for BSB. And he has got it once again. Flaherty back over to Lipsy. Lipsy trying to take aim. Everybody taking after it. Smith has got it, and he's able to make a stop. Stick tap from the HGH bench once again. As Anthony DeMario, the Fordham D2 Ram, just a little bit offside, and we'll get a whistle and a face-off right in front of the homegrown bench. Again, HGH really putting the homegrown in homegrown hockey with this William Patterson program. I believe all but maybe 3 players on this team are not playing for William Patterson. Sean King playing for SUNY Oswego. Jake Sandameno, the University of Illinois. 2-on-1 here. Back on the other direction, they score! Austin Teets, this time he'll light the lamp, and it's a 4-0 lead. Get yet another look at another goal from Homegrown Hockey. A 2-on-1 and a beauty of a chance there from Teets, putting it right between Connor's gear. It's not quite a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, but it does make it a 4-0 contest. And Aiden Swain tried to make it a 5 spot here in the first period. He's got it over to Teets, but Teets just tied up a little bit there with Lastra. Lastra back across, trying to get it up to Swain. Swain sends it off. Walker back checking. Teets right in front of him. Stoffel back over, gets it up to Swain. And Swain just a tad bit offside, trying to bring it back to himself. 1:45 to go in the first period. Off the draw, Walker wins it. Walker's shot blocked by O'Brien in front, but carammed over to Flaherty. Taken back here by Edmonds. Edmonds trying to get it back over to Frasco, and Frasco is a little bit in front of it. Gets it back to Michael Otrando. Otrando trying to dig after it, finds the 8. That's Kyle Rabkin, gloved down there by Frankie Smith once again. .124 to go in this first period of play. Again, the winner of tonight's contest will play the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation tomorrow evening at 8:30 Eastern here. Of course, Carrello Pascal will be on the call for both final games tomorrow evening. Game number 1 of the Jersey Pro League Pro Division finals between XGH, or rather X Hockey Products, the XHP Hockey Products program, and Top Line Hockey. That'll take place tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock, top of the hour here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Teets looking for his second of the period, denied there by Casey Connor. Of course, the finals for the club division taking place tomorrow night at 8:30 between what might be Homegrown Hockey taking on the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation. 2 of the top teams here in the JPL this season. But of course, we still got a long way to go and a long way to get there. Michael Otrando trying to steer it out of harm's way. 20 seconds to go in period number 1. Otrando trying to give chase with Stoffel. Frasco trying to dig after it, but taken here by Homegrown. Lastra tied up with Rauch. Gets it back over to Tommy Boyle. This one goes all the way outside of the penalty box. And with 4 seconds to play in the period, we'll get a face-off. We'll see if Casey Connor is pulled here for 4 seconds on the clock. Kappas looking to win the draw. He's not able to. Taken here by Sandomeno. He'll hold on to it. And that will wrap up period number 1. 4 goals scored here by Homegrown Hockey. They hold a commanding 4-goal lead after 15 minutes of play. We'll step aside for a couple of moments here on BSB. $15 down, 30 to go as we welcome you back inside the glass of the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House for the start of period number 2 of game number 2 of tonight's doubleheader for the JPL Club Division Semifinals here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. My name is Trey Wright. After 15 minutes of play, 4-0, Homegrown Hockey leads over Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Taking a look at the particulars from that opening period. Thomas Swartout, right now the go-ahead goal in this contest. Roman Kirillachev and Matt O'Donnell with the 2 apples on the play. Then it was Alec Osher from Austin Teets to double up the lead. 3-0 from Sean King and Tommy Boyle. And Austin Teets gets his second point of the evening. An assist there by the 51 of Aiden Swain. BSB trying to get back into the contest as Steve Kappas was trying to get things going. Kappas, however, is going to draw a penalty against BSB. Delayed penalty in favor of Homegrown Hockey. Back the other way it comes. Smith will go to the bench. Kappas trying to touch up on it, but taken here by King. King trying to skate across here on this delayed call. BSB looking to just touch up on the play and grab possession of it, but still it's HGH. That one rifled through traffic. Casey Connor will make a save, but he's going to need to make another one here. On this penalty shot, our first of the evening for either side. Steve Kappas taking down the 13 of Jake Sandameno. Sandameno will shoot and score. Call it a 5-spot, a commanding 5-goal lead here for Homegrown Hockey. So we grab another look at it. Some nifty moves there from Sandameno, the Basking Ridge, New Jersey native. And just like we saw a couple of times there in game number 1 of the night between LSW and JMG. Nothing really too fancy, just some good deacon, good stick work, and sending it right in the 7-hole between the blocker and the pad. And it makes it a 5-0 game. So BSB's work certainly cut out for them, and they nearly got one back there from the one of Flaherty. Homegrown the other direction with it. Trying to stick it across there was Barbieri, but now it's a 3-on-2 for Breakout. Here's Frascone along the far side. Drops it back for DeMario. DeMario, backhander, trying to get it back over to Lipsy. Lipsy back for the 13 of DeMario. DeMario waiting for options. Nearly put into the boards, but retains possession. We'll turn it over to Sean King. King able to get it as far as the blue line, sent back in by Flaherty. 3-on-2 the other way. This one stick check out, and Flaherty has got it. Flaherty sends one off of the crossbar, but we do have a delayed penalty against HGH. And it will be a hooking call against Homegrown. And BSB with another opportunity to get on the scoreboard after a dart went off of the crossbar from Brendan Flaherty. It'll be Ricky Lipsy, the Michigan Wolverine, will skate down the center line here on Smith, and Frankie Smith will shut the door. Smith for 1-for-1 on the penalty shot here this evening. He's got a pretty good S-word going on so far. His team up 5-0. Like we mentioned in the first period, it seems like that every time we get a couple of new teams here in the Jersey Pro League Club Division, it's a 2-on-2, developing the other way. Seems like every time we get a couple of new teams here for the Club Division, they find themselves way up at the top. Kirillachev fighting with Frascone down on the far side. This will find Otrondo. He skates across. We'll find Frascone with a little bit of time and space. Good back check there from Vincent Stoffel. Frascone still with it. Gets it up. Otrondo in the high slot. Gets it around Stoffel. Retains possession. Trying to get it over to Flaherty. He didn't miss by much. Edmonds trying to chase after it. This will find Kirillachev once more. Rather, that was O'Donnell. And back the other way it comes. This is deflected off of Kirillachev's stick. And we'll play on with no icing. Like we were saying, again, two new teams at the top of the heap here in this season. With John Matthew Gaudreau at the top of the heap, they'll be playing for a championship. And right now, Homegrown Hockey, a brand new program. Right now, looking in good shape to play for a championship as well tomorrow evening. Otrondo trying to get BSB on the board. A good stick in the lane there by Alec Osher. He is able to break up that chance, and here's Swartout and Kirillachev the other direction with it. Swartout drops it back for Osher, and nearly at his second. Osher was able to make that play happen with a stick in the lane, and he was nearly rewarded with it with a touchdown. But it's Frascone down the far side. Trying to get it back over to Jacob DeFerris. That one dangling a little bit across the lane. Smith, however, remaining straight on with it. Swart out trying to race Rabkin with it to the loose change, and he'll win. Right and close there for Connor. He's able to deflect it over to Gut. Gut trying to shake off Aiden Swain with it. And racing the other direction is McNulty. Kappas will take a dive. Teets the other way. 2-on-1 developing. Swart out and Teets. Swart out trying to get it back over. And Casey Connor with a good save. Swart out on it again. Make that Swain has got it. Sends it back over to his future teammate of Osher. Sandameno has got it. Puts one on target. Rabkin out the other way. Nearly turning it over to Sandameno. Sandameno trying to get it over to Teets. Trying to get it back over was Teets. Teets sending Kappas, rather that was Flaherty into the boards. This one goes up over the crossbar. McNulty up to Gut. Gut waiting for reinforcement as Kappas over on the other side, but the lane was blocked. And now it's Swain on a 2-on-1 once again. Nod man rush the other way, and Swain will shoot that one up into the netting, deflected by Connor. Approaching the midway point here in game number 2 and night number 2. 9:33 to go in the second period. After a couple of late games, 2 triple headers in a row, the last couple of nights, settling everything for the opening rounds of the Jersey Pro League playoffs. 3 games for the club division on Monday evening, 2 games for the pro and 1 for the club yesterday. Of course, everybody here at Breakout Sports Broadcasting pitching in for one of our busiest weeks of the year. Certainly, those weeks will continue to get busy the closer we get to collegiate hockey season, as Rauch was looking for the turnaround chance, denied there by Smith. McDonald went hard in the boards. He and DeMario trying to fight for it along with Boyle. 4 players scrambling into the boards. DeFerris, rather that's Lipsy, trying to dig after it. Comes back over to DeMario. DeMario has got it, stick in the lane. Trying to get it over is Flaherty. He just barely keeps it in at the zone. He'll turn it over in the offensive zone. However, now we'll get it back. Flaherty looking to send one over, and he shoots it wide. Swain has got it again. A 3-on-1 developing for Homegrown Hockey. Swain over to Lastra, back over to Swain, and a good knee in the zone there by Rauch. Justin Rauch, we've seen it for the last 4 seasons with the Ryder Bronx. How much of a two-way winger he has been, as this one will skirt over into the bench and out of play for a whistle. Edmonds and Barbieri off of the draw, won by Barbieri. Sandameno will send this one in. Gets it up to one of his teammates there, 97. Flaherty trying to dig after it. Gets as far as the blue line. Barbieri lost in his skates for a brief moment. Pickpocketed by Edmonds. Otrando across the blue line. Here's Justin Rauch. Lots of time and space, but a good stick in the lane there by Osher, giving Rauch a taste of his own medicine. Again, we have seen Osher play so many games over on the Flow Hockey EHLP side of things. Played with the New Jersey Sevens in both the EHLP and the EHL. Saw him a lot whenever Carlo Pascal and I would cover games with the Pennsylvania Huntsmen and the Philadelphia Little Flyers, and we knew how much of a threat he was going to be. A lot of these veterans of the EHLP in the AHL for the 87s that are joining this program here in William Patterson. Got Alec Osher, Anthony O'Brien, Roman Kurilechev. I believe he'll be wearing black, orange, and white here in this fall. And, of course, Frankie Smith will also be joining the Pioneers here this fall. They play all of their games out of the same barn that the Rampo Roadrunners of our program do as well, the Ice Vault up in Wayne. We'll have to see if we could potentially add William Patterson to our roster, given that, hey, pretty much all of their roster are playing here in the Summer League for the Jersey Pro League. See if they've got a broadcasting program yet here for the 25-26 season. More on that later in the pipeline, but excited to say that we do have a lot of clientele returning this season. Frascone along the red line. Has Gutt right next to him. We'll get it up to Gutt. Gutt with a fresh twig in the hands. Trying to get it back over, but he's blocked in front. Past the midway point in period number 2, 6 to go in the second. And BSB just trying to get on the score sheet. They trail 5-0. Walker trying to change that. Tries to get it back over to Edmonds. Rather, that was Gutt who was looking for his second of the playoffs. Walker gets it back over to Rabkin. Rabkin over to Kappas. Smith a little bit out of position. Puck stays out of the cage. Swain trying to dig it out. Taken back the other way there by McNulty. Here's Kappas in the corner along with the 23 of Stoffel. Kappas digging at it. No look pass to nobody in orange. Wheeled out of here by Kurilechev. Walker across the Ticketmaster logo will take it into his own end of the ice. Hounded there by Swart out in front of him. We'll get it up to Rabkin. Rabkin trying to dance around, gets past Kurilechev, cannot get past Matt O'Donnell, runs right in the butt end of that 27. Swart out has got it, trying to get it back to Kurilechev, saved there by Connor. Shots are 17-13 in favor of Homegrown Hockey. Swart out looking to go short side there on Connor. He is denied. Puck stays in. Swart out still got it. Tips it back over to Kurilechev. Here's Swart out on it again, and a good stick in the zone there by Gutt. Nearly ran into the lines person. Then Gutt just trying to wheel it out of his own end, and he will. Delayed offside against HGH, and Stoffel will pitch it back into the BSB zone. Walker sending it up for Gutt. Gutt turned it over. Kurilechev turns it over to Walker subsequently, and we'll do it all again. Walker pickpocketed by Kurilechev. Kurilechev all by his lonesome, but Walker with a good back check will fight for him with the vulcanized rubber. Stoffel on it, kicked back over to a BSB skater. 2-on-1 the other way. This is McNulty across the line. McNulty takes aim, looking for the 5-hole rebound, rings off the crossbar again. That's the second piece of iron BSB has hit in this period. They still left off of the score sheet. Time winding down in this period. 3:29 to go in the second frame, but still plenty of time to go till we get underway. And another 2-on-1 for BSB. Trying to break the shutout bait. A good block in the lane. DeMario denied there by the pad of Smith. DeFerris on it. Gets it back into Rauch. Rauch gloved down there by an HGH skater. Taken here by McDonald. McDonald turns it over to Kurilechev. Kurilechev looking to load the gun. Taken away there by DeFerris. DeFerris on the other side. Numbers the other way for Breakout. 4-on-3. DeFerris sent it off the side of the cage. Trying to dig after it is McDonald, and Smith will hold on for his 19th save of the evening so far. Make that his 16th save of the evening, but still 16 for 16. Again, letting in only 2 goals in that first game against the Hockey House podcast. This is wheeled out of here by Rauch, gets it past Lastra. Lipsy not able to hold on to it. Lastra will take it on his stick. Lastra looking for it. Trying to spin around Rauch, gets it back over to Teets, intercepted here by BSB, and wheeled out the other way by McDonald. McDonald nailed into the boards, was looking for a call. He won't get it. We will continue to play on as Swain was tied up by Lipsy. A little bit of chaos in between the two circles as McDonald has got it. Trying to load it up for Lipsy, just missed a little bit wide. Teets trying to tee up a shot. Back up for Osher. Teets on it again. Teets looking to get it over to Lastra for the tap, and he was tied up by Rauch. Kept in the zone there by Sandameno. Sandameno will take game, was looking for his second, missed the cage by about 6 feet. Rauch the other direction. $1:35 to go in the second period. Has his stick lifted, taken away by Homegrown. That one takes a lick off of a stick. Caroms back into HGH's side of the ice. DeMario trying to take that away from Alec Osher, but Osher with some nifty puck movement. Aiden Swain and goes head first into the end wall. He's able to get back up in time. Toronto the other way, loads it up for Rauch. Rauch, mano-a-mano with Stoffel, make that boil. Gets it up to Edmonds. Edmonds looking for a little bit of time and space with Flaherty. Instead, he'll turn it over. This is Lastra who's got it, pitches it off of the high glass. Will stay in play, and it's a 2-on-1 for Homegrown. Here's Swain all alone on Connor. Connor makes a save. Rebound, he's got it as well. 40 seconds to go in period number 2 in the final minute of the second frame. Rauch trying to defend, taken here by Teets. Teets back at the top for Stoffel, and that's whipped into the glove of Connor. He'll cover. $29.5 to go in the second period. Glad we could have everybody join us for the penultimate night of action in the Jersey Pro League 2025 season, celebrating our third year of JPL action. And of course, many more years to come. 13 to go in the second period. One final chance for BSB to try to get on the board. Frasco was tied up in the low slot. 6 to go. Now a fight for with time winding down. Trying to get there is Lastra. 1 second to go in the second. Had one chance. Connor denied it. And that will do it. One goal in that second period from Homegrown Hockey. They lead 5-0 on a quick moving contest. We'll go into the third period in just a couple of moments here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Final 15 minutes of play here as we enter period number 3 of tonight's second game of our doubleheader between Homegrown Hockey and Breakout Sports Broadcasting here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Trey Wright on the call. After 2 periods of play, Homegrown Hockey with a 5-goal lead over BSB. 4 goals scored in the first period by Homegrown Hockey, only 1 in the second. A penalty shot goal from Jake Sandameno to make it a 5-goal lead. Swartout, Osher, King, Tietz, and Sandamento, the 5 different goal scorers for HGH. And Breakout Sports Broadcasting trying to break a bid here by Frankie Smith to stay clean on the score sheet. That one on top of the net. Already seen one janky goal against BSB so far tonight. Good move there from Kyle Rabkin, the floater player from Marlboro High School. He is taken down, and he will draw a penalty. Walker on the delayed call, trying to take that away from Sean King, who's trying to touch up on it. Rabkin will get it up to DeMario, and now a chance here for Breakout on the delayed penalty. Here's Shane Gutt all alone, and he missed wide. I believe he caught a little bit of iron on that shot, and BSB cannot buy a goal. They scored 7 of them last night, one of them in overtime. Could they potentially get 5 in the next 13:58? They'll have an opportunity to do so here as Kyle Rabkin brought down on a hook. And he will get a shot to put BSB on the board. Rabkin will start right down Broadway with it. In on to Frankie Smith, who's playing high out of his cage. Rabkin on, and he's denied. Looking for the backhander, but Frankie Smith cannot be figured out. And none of the BSB skaters able to solve Smith so far in this contest. Saw Kevin Brennan with this unit dominate last year. We saw it for the first couple of games for Homegrown, but now, especially over this this week on Monday night, and of course, over the regular season across June and July, or rather May and June, we saw a lot from Frankie Smith, and Smith and Brennan for William Patterson this year. That is going to be a two-headed monster in net. I would not be surprised if you get those two become your 1A and your 1B. You ditch that traditional starter role and you get one guy on Friday nights, one guy on Saturdays. Maybe you alternate the two. But right now, I say Smith and Brennan pretty much on equal ground. Biggest thing, Frankie Smith will be a freshman going into this season of William Patterson hockey. And I tell you what, the entire ECHA has got to be on notice for all of these guys here that have been on display all summer long for the Jersey Pro League. HGH taking it the other direction. Lipsy will take it between his own circles. Lipsy across the New Jersey Devils logo, their main camp back in action here over the next couple of weeks. And here comes Swartout right off of the bench. Thomas Swartout on a breakaway. Casey Connor will deny Swartout. A good denial there on a breakaway from Swartout, the alternate captain. A little bit of momentum building here for BSB as they try to find the back of the 4x6. Osher has got it. Sends it across the ice. Icing waved off of a deflection taken here by Kirillachev. Whipping it down, Kirillachev has got it. Waits for Barbieri over on the other side. Kirillachev trying to take it to the house himself. He's got it! Looking for a bar down chance. He was denied by Connor. Lipsy across on it. Will spring it up for Frascone. Frascone here on Smith. He is brought down, looking for a follow-up chance, and denied once again by Fickle Frankie. Fickle Frankie, Janky Frankie, whatever you want to call him. Tell you what, this kid is going to get so many nicknames this collegiate season. And hey, TCNJ does play William Patterson twice. There is a good chance we'll, of course, see all of these guys once again on BSB once more. It's so funny how small the hockey world is. I tell you what. McDonald trying to dig after it. McDonald playing for the New York Cyclones 18U AA program. We'll get it back to Trey Walker. Has his pass blocked there by Swartout. Walker on a good back check the other way. Nearly collided with his 23rd counterpart of Stoffel. O'Donnell trying to get after it. We'll send it up to Osher. Osher trying to bank it off of the boards. He'll do it once there. Frascone has got it. Frascone trying to dig after it there with the 13 of Sandameno. 11:25 to go in the third period. 5-0. Homegrown Hockey leads over BSB. Sandameno had the last goal, was looking for a little bit of a ballerina shot, it looked like, by the way he was spinning around. Instead, is Swartout on it again, and a missile just going high in the net. McDonald for Frascone. That's boarded or blockered down into the corner. Frascone still with it. Again, Breakout has played right into the wheelhouse here. Has Gut on it, right on the doorstep. They score! Gut on the initial chance. Not sure if it was tipped home. But nonetheless, Breakout Sports Broadcasting finally solves Fickle Frankie, and it's a 5-1 game. And it was Alex Frascone on the tap-in, and the Wake Forest Demon Deacon will put BSB on the score sheet. After the initial shot from Shane Gut. Tapped it in. 1 down, 4 to go. And BSB, with all the momentum, trying to get back into this contest, trailing by 5. Walker tried to send it up, intercepted by Lastra. Taken back here by Rauch. Rauch up to Gut as the two Bronx connect with it. Gut trying to get it back over, puts one net. Just goes over the crossbar of Frank Smith. Here's Walker on it. He hits the crossbar again. That is the third crossbar to be hit by a BSB skater in this game. And it remains a 5-1 contest. DeMario taken down. No call on the play. Here's Otrondo, last night's overtime winner. Route to the top of the point, blocked in front. Here's Lastra on it. Lastra all by himself. Here's Walker trying to get back on there. Casey Connor with a save, and he made the follow-up save on the rebound. Connor's been really good so far in these last couple of periods, and he makes another save point blank from Jason Lastra. And with just under 10 minutes to go in the third period, can BSB find a little bit of offense here in this final stage of tonight's contest? Off of the draw, it'll find Brendan Flaherty. Rather, that's Kyle Rabkin who's got it. Up to Lipsy. Lipsy trying to find Steve Kappas. That's denied. Here's Teets on it again. Lastra with it, juggling it to himself, but he can't solve Connor. $9:10 to go in the third period. This will find Osher right at the red line. Gets it up to Swain. Swain wearing Anthony O'Brien's 51, trying to get it through Connor. Everybody's stigging and digging at it. And play is whistled dead. Time continuing to wind down here in the third period. Shots 18-24 in favor of Homegrown Hockey. Steve Kappas trying to get it back over to Rabkin, and he will. Rabkin nearly caught a stick in the blade, but he's able to skate westward with it. Rabkin blows a tire for a brief moment, gets back up to the skates. Got Osher right at his 7 o'clock, and Osher will take it away. Kappas not able to keep it in at the zone. It's a 2-on-1 odd-man rush for HGH. Sending it across. Barbieri all alone. Connor able to make 2 good stops. Barbieri, rather that's King, trying to race after it again, but it's Otrondo who gets there first. Barbieri will keep it in. McNulty will retain possession for Breakout. Otrondo on the other direction, sending it over to Kappas. Kappas not able to hold on to it, gets it back to Otrondo. Otrondo fighting for it over in the front of the Verizon logo, taken here by the one of Flaherty. Osher has got it. He will skate east with it. Osher back over to King. King, 1 goal already tonight, trying to get it back over to the 13 of San Domenico. Taking aim and firing was Osher looking for a second. Everybody just trying to wheel out. It was Barbieri down the low slot. Couldn't get a shot off. Halfway home through the third period, BSB trails Homegrown 4-0. They're trying to keep them off of the score sheet in this third period. Puck is loose, and Casey Connor will once again make the stop. The particulars on that goal from BSB, even though it was tipped in by Alex Frasco and Shane Gutt was accredited with the goal. With Jacob DeFerris on the assist, it should read Frasco from Gutt and DeFerris. But irregardlessly, Brendan Flaherty will stick it in. They'll go into the opposite corner, and racing after it is San Domenico. Can't really quite get there in time. Trying to get another goal as Breakout. Here it is on Smith. Trying to get there was Flaherty, and a good save there from Frankie Smith once more. Otrondo loads the gun, blocked there by Osher. Osher sacrificing the body, and that might set up a little bit of a chance here for King. Was a little too far behind the pass. King trying to dig after it along with DeFerris. DeFerris will send it up. Here's Frascone on it. Frascone, the lone goal scorer for BSB, gets it over to McDonald. And McDonald not McLoving that shot as he puts it right into the glove of Smith. "19 saves on 20 shots so far tonight for Smith. The Little Ferry, New Jersey native has been a beast so far. 10 in the pipes in that 4x6. Off of the draw, Rabkin with a shot from the blue line, and that's corralled there by Smith and 31 once again. Trying to get it off the draw once again was DeMario. Gutt will hold possession. DeMario looking to hold up, trying to spring Rouch right in the low slot. Couldn't quite get there. Wheeled back the other way by Swartout. Here's Kirillichev. He's got some time and space all alone. He scores! Roman Kirillichev sending Connor's Dragstrap into orbit. Will make it back to a 5-goal lead. It's 6-1. Another New Jersey 87 that'll be going with William Patterson in just a couple of weeks. We get another look at it. That was set up there by Swartout, and Kirillichev off to the races. Now dangling Casey Connor to make it a 6-1 contest. So it makes the mountain for BSB just a little bit harder. And with time winding down, the grade a little bit steeper. Swartout not able to keep it in. Taken back in the neutral zone by Stoffel. And Swartout has got it across the blue line. Swartout around Connor, trying to set up Kirillichev once again. He is brought down. We continue to play on as the band stayed down beside the referee's arms. And now, some pushing and shoving after the fact between Otrondo and Kirillichev by the looks of it. We saw nearly some fisticuffs in that first game between Mr. Lemonstick Wax and the J&M Gaudreau Foundation. 5:20 to go in the third period. Off of the draw, Kirillichev sends it back to Stoffel at the blue line. McNulty and Kappas trying to dig after it, and O'Donnell will take it out of his own end. Kappas trying to stay at O'Donnell's 7 o'clock, but O'Donnell will get through traffic. Loads it up for Swartout. Trying to get it all the way over, and Trayvon Walker, playing goaltender, makes a save in the paint. Getting it back over was BSB, but taking it across is Stoffel. Under 5 to go in the third period, and BSB just trying to get at least one more goal. They broke the shutout bid of Frankie Smith. Trying to get back into the contest here, trailing by 5. McNulty trying to get Frascone right at the doorstep. He's been the lone goal scorer for this BSB team. Kurilechev on it again. Another burst of speed past Rabkin. Rabkin will chase him into the corner, and he'll take the vulcanized rubber away from Kurilechev. Lastra has got it. Turns it over to Gavin Edmonds. His brother Carter Edmonds played yesterday evening. 4 to go in period 3. Trey Walker. In front of the Chick-fil-A logo. Sticks it away from Swartout. McDonald up for Walker. Walker skating across. Skates across behind the goal line. Taken in front and taken away by Lastra. Lastra coming to blows there with Edmonds right in front of the M&M's logo over in the corner. Lastra still with it. This time he'll battle McDonald. Edmonds on it again, back into the fray with Lastra. Frascone will join in as well, and Lastra still digging along these boards, just trying to waste as much time as possible. Swartout is off to the races. Here he comes on Connor. He scores! Second of the game for Swartout. That time he's able to solve Casey Connor on the breakaway. He'll kick the convert to make it a 7-1 contest. We get another look at it, and that was all generated by Lastra, who was going pretty much the entirety of the neutral zone around. Popped it all the way up to Swartout. Swartout off to the races. He was able to stick it in for his second goal of the evening. I believe his third point in total. Indeed it was. He did have that primary assist on Roman Kurilechev. So 3 points on the evening, 8 on the season so far for Swartout. Of course, Austin Teets with 8 points in the playoffs so far as well. Lastra knocked into the boards on the other side with 2:40 to go in the third period. Swain and Otrondo coming together over in the corner. This one missing Connor's office. Taken back out of here by the one of Flaherty. Back the other way with it. Stick down by Casey Connor. Otrondo will get it up to Flaherty once more. Flaherty will drop it off to Lastra. And Lastra will get it up to O'Brien. Rather, that was Swain. Back goes Edmonds across the blue line. We'll get it back to Flaherty. Edmonds and Flaherty will play catch with it for the time being. Otrondo trying to stick it back over to Edmonds, and he will. Under 2 to go with $1:50 to play in the third period. The number 1 and the number 2 seeds as Frankie Smith, 2 saves point blank. BSB has not been able to buy a goal so far in this contest. They've only got 1. And Frankie Smith, 2 saves point blank, both times on Shane Gutt. We will have running clock here with BSB trailing by 6. So by the looks of it, all 4 finalist contenders will be figured out here for the Final Four on a 3-on-1 the other way for Homegrown. Trying to add on to things. Barbieri taking aim, and he goes wide. Scratch of that was Jake Sandameno, who goes a little bit wide of the cage. 47 seconds to go. But Homegrown Hockey, in their first year as a program, will be going to the finals. But for their skaters and William Patterson, they'll be looking for a little bit of redemption last year. Play being whistled dead as a couple of players coming together. That was King and Otrondo that nearly coming to blows right in front of the BSB bench. And I believe that will indeed be the end of the contest. We've got some jawing back and forth as Steve Kappas jawing a little bit there with Sean King as the two nines verbally combating with one another. And that will, in fact, be the end of the contest. So Homegrown Hockey with a chance at redemption tomorrow night takes down Breakout Sports Broadcasting 7-1 your final score. Alex Frascone, the lone goal scorer for Breakout Sports Broadcasting, and a collection of goal scorers for Homegrown Hockey here tonight. But we have our two different matchups and our four teams that'll be fighting for two separate championships come tomorrow evening here from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. Coming up tomorrow night, game number 1, the JPL Pro Division Finals. X-Hockey Products looking to take back the championship they lost 1 year ago. They will take on newcomer Top Line Hockey. That will kick off at 7 o'clock local time here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. And then, of course, the Club Division Finals, the John and Matthew Gaudreau Foundation taking on Homegrown Hockey. That'll be taken on right directly after the closing ceremonies and the awarding of the championship tomorrow evening after the Pro Division game, once again here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. But on behalf of all of everybody here at BSB tonight, our camera operators, Emily Cott, Joelle Arcelay, our technical director and executive producer, Corolla Pascal, Andrew Zahn, John McCooch, for Colton Reynolds, everybody here tonight. My name is Trey Wright, saying so long until tomorrow night from Newark, New Jersey. This wraps up the penultimate night of action here from the RWJ Barnabas Health Hockey House. Tomorrow night, championship Thursday here from Newark, New Jersey. On behalf of everybody here at Breakout Sports Broadcasting, thank you for tuning in to tonight's coverage of Jersey Pro League playoff action here on Breakout Sports Broadcasting. Have a great evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you all tomorrow night.